So I just got back from watching Supergirl, and your girl came prepared. I mean, look at this outfit. I'm like, yeah, I look good. No, but for real though, I don't know. I will say, I was really happy that DC's second project was a Supergirl movie for a few reasons. For one, we haven't had a Supergirl movie since the 80s. And it was not good. Supergirl also is, only had a show that didn't really do the character much justice. I think the show was good, but the show was good because it was kind of doing its own thing. And if you know, like, Supergirl and her world and her characters, it felt like, okay, this is a CW thing. And not so much, like, the best take on the comics or anything like that. So, yeah, as a Supergirl fan, still enjoyed this show. But it also was nice to immediately see some consistency with this new DC universe, because Creature Commandos and Peacemaker are a whole different thing. We don't really need to talk about those. But in terms of, like, movies, Superman, Supergirl, and then we're getting Superman 2 next year. Great combination, because it leads into everything so well. So, yeah. And this is a spoiler review, though I don't think there is a lot to spoil, because I think the movie shows you almost everything about you need to know about this movie in the trailers. There's not really a lot of surprises, especially since there's no post-credit scenes, which honestly I enjoyed, and let me explain why. I think too many movies, even Marvel movies, they're like relying on the post-credit scenes to engage people, and honestly I think it's really shitty. Because sometimes it's like the most worthless thing to sit around and wait for. And it's just dumb. Like, why are you making me sit around for worthless bits? And James Gunn has said that he doesn't want to, like, throw in post-credit scenes in these movies so that other filmmakers have to pick up the pieces. Which I really respect the hell out of, because, he really hated doing Guardians and having to deal with Adam Warlock, a character he didn't want to have to deal with. Because it was set up, though, he had to kind of do it. And it just kind of is a whole thing. So yeah, I appreciate that. So let's start with my negatives, because honestly I think I have less negatives than I do positives, because I honestly love this movie. First one's not a negative, but I just want to state this. I don't like this movie as much as Superman, because I feel like this movie doesn't meet the moment that we need, like that movie did. And what I mean by that is that movie was all about hope and optimism and joy and being good. And this movie is about that too, but it felt like a lot of the themes and ideas and things being presented felt like they met the moment, and this movie doesn't do that as much. That's why I don't like it as much. However, what this movie is going for, I think really does work. But the main thing that bothered me about this movie is its pacing and how much it tries to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. Because it's not working, all you can tell throughout the whole movie is the moments where this movie doesn't work, like when the needle drops happen, or emotional beats that would happen in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie don't work. That's really comes down to the fact that the pacing of this movie is so weird. Like, it's a 2 hour, it's a 2 hour less than 2 hour movie. It's like hour 55. Movie started like at 7:11. I was out of that theater by 9 p.m. after like trailers and everything. And this movie feels like, the best way to describe this movie is a 2 hour movie that's paced like an hour and a half movie. So it's like kind of rushing through all these beats, like some emotional beats. I was like, man, I really love this emotional beat. Up on to the next thing. There's several moments where Kara is in danger that I felt like were very similar to beats in Superman, but you're not sitting with them long enough to have that impact. And I don't normally say this about superhero movies. I feel like the problem with superhero movies is, yeah, they're poorly paced, but that's usually because they're too long. This movie feels like, not that it's too long, it's that it's just rushing around things too much. The flashback scenes felt like they could have used more time to breathe and, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, last negative, I guess, is that this movie is based on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Here's the Target edition that I bought today that comes with a cool poster. So if you're at Target, you get a cool poster in here that I'm not going to show you because I don't want to damage it. But I love the storyline. But the storyline is very depressing. It's very sad. And this movie has that, but not as much as you think it would. I felt like the movie, if it gave us more time to sit with the emotions and dark stuff these characters are dealing with, I would have really felt the emotions and been more on board with some of this movie. I love this movie, though, because when this movie really works, it soars. It has some really beautiful moments of cinematography and direction here. Kara, played by Millie Alcock, is so good in this movie. Her story about, kind of taking this girl on this quest reluctantly just to save crypto, and having to teach this girl how to deal with her own loss while she's still dealing with the loss of everyone she knew on Krypton, because she actually went through that, unlike Clark, is so powerful. It's so well done. And I absolutely loved her performance as this character. And I think that Lobo was great, even if he's not in much of the movie as you would think he is, based on a lot of the marketing, which was weird. But he almost could have been cut out of the movie, and literally nothing about it would have changed. But I'm glad he was there because he was a fun addition, and I liked him. And I liked a lot of the soundtrack, even if I don't feel like when they play the songs, the sequences are so quick that they don't give you enough time to sit with it. I feel like in Guardians of the Galaxy movies, it's not just that they have the needle drops, it's that they actually sit there and let you breathe in the sequence, and that's why that song's there and it fits. Here it's not quite as good as that, but yeah, I love this movie. I'll definitely see it again. I don't know if I'll see it as many times as Superman. I saw it at least 5 or 6 times in the theater. I'll maybe see it at least one more time in the theater, and then definitely buy it day one on home video, just like I did with Superman, because I love this movie. I really did. And I was really shocked that I loved this movie, but god damn it, I really did.